What's up, y'all? It's your boy Taylor Grant here with Bellator Claims, but I'm here to talk to you more specifically about what I posted and just have this live be more specifically about life. And kind of in this post specifically, it talks about like your world and your life is like a Jenga board, and that Jenga board can tumble over, but the beauty of that in the tumbling and in the falling apart of things is that it creates space for new things to fall in place. Hey, Jordan, good to see you. Let me see if it will invite you on. Here we go. I'm gonna send you an invite. So while Jordan just wanted to kind of share some of that with you in regards to the post this morning that live is about is, hey, what's up, Jordan?
Just driving. See, you can do things as you go about your day, right?
Right. Just be careful. It's funny because I'm in my vehicle and you're in your vehicle, but I'm stationary.
I'm gonna
If you had to
pull
guess,
over.
if you had to guess, where do you think I am? If you just had to guess.
If I had to guess where you are.
Right.
Jim?
No, that's a great guess though. I'm at the post office, of course.
The post office. I wouldn't guess that.
Right. So I realized I don't have the priority mail envelopes that I need at my office, so I had to come swing by and grab them. But anyhow, hey, so I just wanted to kind of introduce the topic and let you kind of speak, because you and I have had some really amazing conversations around kind of life and things falling apart in your life. You feel like you're falling apart, and I can share a little bit more of what I've been going through the last 9-10 weeks. But ultimately, I just wanted to kind of introduce the topic of what I was posted about this morning, which is sometimes things in your life have to fall apart for things in your life to be able to fall into place.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, like what does that mean to you, or what do you get out of that specifically?
I mean, if things don't fall apart for the new things to come, you're not going to have any room, if that makes sense, right? You're just
Right.
there's too much. And so, I mean, just like with anything, like a wildfire is necessary for new growth and things to get to the next stage. So, I mean, you have to. It's just part of it, just evolving.
Yeah. And I think that is such a perfect example, like the mental imagery of a wildfire burning shit to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing left. And I think when things are falling apart in your life or people's lives, if it's in your body, right? There's 4 domains that we talk about in Warrior Body: connection with the source energy called being, balance, which is relationships, and then also business, right? Like, I'm an entrepreneur, have been self-employed for going on 20 freaking years, if you can believe that. What's up, Brianna? I hope you're doing well. But like the imagery of the wildfire just burning shit to the ground, but being able to bring beauty from that, right? And for me, what I hear from you is like what I'm getting, and kind of what I'm trying to implement in my own life, is the letting go of the things that are falling apart, the letting go of the things that I want to hold on to because I know what it is. It's comfortable, it's easy, it's so like, I don't want to let it go. Like in Tommy Boy, it's like, it's my precious little pet, I don't want to let it go, right? And the longer and the harder you try to hold on to it, the less it serves you, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a decreasing return, is the less it actually serves you to hold on to these things that aren't working for you. Hence, the world is burning down around you to get rid of those things, to allow the new, fresh things to grow. I love that. Thank you for saying that.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. Well, and another thing too, I mean, this is like that I always think about too. So there's that, but like I think of God, and I don't know if you've seen the image where there's a little girl holding a teddy bear, and Jesus is asking her to give it to him, and she doesn't want to, but behind his back there's an even bigger one. And she doesn't know, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like,
Right.
again, getting rid, surrendering what you think you have to hold on to, because better is coming. It's like trusting that it's there. So that I always think of that for some reason.
Well, and isn't it so interesting, right? Like, I'm going through what you and I have talked about. It's It's called The Dark Night of the Soul. And
Mhm.
it's been such a painful and beautiful experience that I've been going through for like the last 10 weeks. It has been brutal, so painful in so many different ways, but also beautiful because if we look back, right, and I've said this and posted this on my Facebook feed previously, is like your survival rate of dealing with life's bullshit is 100% as long as you don't give up, right? Like if you look back on your life, you can see all the things that you've overcome, and at the time it seems so terrible, but now you look back and you realize, wow, that was happening for me. That rejection was God's redirection
Yep.
and pushing me into a different path that I knew that I needed to be on, but more importantly, that God knew that I needed to be on, right?
Mhm.
And it's interesting because, like, for me right now, I'm giving up something that I've known for a decade and like wrestling with this and this relationship, and it's like just dead and there's nothing left. And like being able to let go of that and realizing that something better and more connected and what is made and designed for me is awaiting me. And it's hard though.
Mhm. It is. And well, and again, and why is it hard? Because there's just the fear, which is silly
Right.
because I mean, it's like, I mean, when we were kids, we didn't have any fear about learning how to walk. I
Right.
mean, we wanted to get up and do it, when all we knew was to, crawl or roll around, and it's funny how as we get older that we have all this fear around just growing and evolving.
Right. That's a really good point, is when we were younger, we just did it because it was what had to be done. And now we have a choice of, do we want to do it or not? And one of my good buddies, Matt, he and I are going to be getting together at the end of August, which will be awesome. And he had mentioned, he sent to me, he goes, suffering occurs when you think what is happening shouldn't be happening.
Hmm.
And that's what I think, like for me in my mind right now, it's like, oh, I don't want that to happen because I feel like it should be this way and it's not, and why not? And it feels like everything around me is falling apart, and it's like all of this is happening at one time. And you and I've talked about it, more in depth and more vulnerably, but like, what's going on in my life right now, and it is brutally painful, is it not? Like, I mean, from outside looking in,
Yeah.
I think you would agree with that,
Oh,
right?
absolutely. It's one of the hard, yeah, you're going
And
through a ton.
yeah,
Deep, deep stuff.
in multiple different domains of my life right now. And it is gut wrenching, it's painful, it's hurtful. And I do realize that I'm adding to my own suffering because I'm not surrendering.
You're resisting.
I'm resisting, right? And I'm resisting less now than I was even 2 weeks ago. And it's becoming more of an acceptance of what is, but I'm creating that suffering because I'm not surrendering. I'm not accepting what is, although I'm moving more and more into that, and it's becoming less and less painful.
Yeah. But again, it's doing the work. You know what I mean?
Right.
You have to, you can't just will your way through it, right? Because you're not going to get anywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
that's again us just trying to control, and you can't
Control.
will
That's right.
yourself, because I mean, you just can't. I mean, but what was I just going to say? Well, and a big thing too is again to ask yourself questions, like with why, like, I mean, now you have to talk about it, but like, why is this spot, like, why do you feel the way you do about this certain
Right.
situation? And then
Right.
you ask yourself, well, why do I? And then you just kind of keep going so you can get to the root cause of what's the resistance to let it go. You
Right.
know, like,
Mhm.
when
Yeah.
I went through my divorce, I mean, I wasn't happy in my marriage, but I had a hard time getting out of it. Well, why? Well, because that's what I've known. And you know what? The appearance of what it's supposed to look like to other people. My parents got divorced, so I felt like I failed. Was I going to ruin my kids? All that. And then you just keep going. And because I don't feel like I'm going to be good enough unless I stick this out, whatever, but
Right.
just kind of keep going to why. And
Yeah.
then you can work on whatever that is.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Because like you're talking about, we have the triggers, but what's
Oh, there Are you? Can you hear me? You're on mute. You're still on mute. Can't hear you. Wait. It's me? Me? Can you hear me now? I can't hear you. It shows mute. I'm just